Have you ever been excited to use string interpolation in your code, only to be met with an error message that leaves you scratching your head? If that sounds familiar, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into the frustrating world of build server errors, specifically the $$ character issue. I totally get it. You write your code, it compiles fine, and then the build server throws an error saying, "Character is not valid." It's enough to make anyone feel like they're losing their mind. You're definitely not alone in this struggle. Let's take a closer look at the specific situation. One user reached out with a question about using string interpolation with the $$ character in their code. They mentioned that while it compiles perfectly fine on their local machine, the build server throws an error. Sound familiar? Let's explore this together. So what could be causing this error? The $ character is essential for string interpolation, but if the build server is using an older version of Visual Studio, it might not recognize it. We'll break down the steps to troubleshoot this issue. And stick around. At the end of this video, I have a crucial tip that could save you from future build server headaches. To address the issue with string interpolation, the user should first ensure that the project is targeting the correct version of the .NET framework. Since the build server is using Visual Studio 2015, it is important to confirm that all projects in the solution are set to use the same version. Next, the user should verify the MS Build version being used on the build server. Since the user mentioned that the build works with version 14.0, they should ensure that the build server is configured to use this version consistently. The user should also check the TFS build.proj file for any inconsistencies. It is crucial that the tool's version attribute matches the version of Visual Studio being used. Finally, the user should consider updating all project files to ensure compatibility. If some projects are still targeting version 12.0, this could lead to conflicts during the build process. Fun fact, the $ character is not just a programming symbol. It's also used in many cultures to represent money. But in coding, it can lead to some serious headaches if not handled correctly. Now let's look at the answers provided by other users. An alternative approach suggested by another user is to manually queue the build instead of relying on continuous integration. They also recommend building your code locally to determine if the issue is specific to your TFS environment. Additionally, they advise checking the event viewer on the build agent or server for useful information. The error message about an invalid character may indicate a problem with your code or syntax. Finally, they suggest looking for any accidental extra characters in your code and ensuring that all programming elements are correctly spelled and constructed. Here's the tip I promised. Always ensure your build server is using the same version of Visual Studio as your development environment. This simple step can prevent a lot of headaches down the line. And there you have it. By following these steps, you should be able to resolve the $$ character issue on your build server. Remember, keeping your environments aligned is key. If you found this video helpful, hit that subscribe button for more troubleshooting tips, and don't miss our next video.